Welcome everyone to another episode of
Why the long face?
where Paul and I talk about
Uh, what do we talk about?
just nonsense.
Nonsense. We talk about our stuff. Our stuff. It could be your stuff, but first, it's our stuff.
It's what's important to us, and that's what matters.
Very important.
Yes. So
Top of the list.
it's always the top of the list for me, for me. All right, so let's talk about what just happened in The Walking Dead.
With the lady adventure?
Yes, the
Ladies.
the full on lady action that we saw. Where first of all we got
Rosito?
Rosita, who comes to the the hilltop to kind of figure out what she wants to tell Sasha, obviously what she wants to do, but they show the backstory on Sasha was already planning it.
Well, listen. She is pissed. She is pissed.
Which one?
Rosita.
Oh,
Rosita. She is always pissed. What's she pissed off at?
At one point I thought she was going to kill Sasha.
Well,
Yeah.
let's not talk about that yet.
Yeah, but let's just go back to what we were talking about. So, at first she's preparing. Sasha's preparing she wants to get her revenge on Negan.
Yeah, it wasn't a what's happening now. It's kind of like right before she got there.
Right.
So it was kind of a rewind of a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it's
I
more.
was like, wait a minute.
It's a little bit of a filler, but it kind of gives you some information that you wanted. So, you're thinking, okay, how are they going to go there, and how they're going to, attack these people without even knowing the layout, where the place is, how to get there. You know what I mean?
Well, wait. I thought we were thinking whose breasts are bigger.
Well, that's a topic for another day.
Oh, okay.
But when we're looking at it and you see the doodling, that's what really threw me off, because I thought that was Sasha doodling.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, how does she know all this? Like, how does she know where to, what is she doing? She's doodling. Is she doodling the hilltop, or is she...
Like just getting it out of her head to kind of see it in front of her.
Right. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And then when you find out it's actually Jesus who gave her a picture of the layout, because they already knew.
Oh, wait a minute.
Well, he already knew.
Wait a minute, Jesus, we found out a little something about him.
Well, I already knew this, but go ahead.
He likes to draw.
He does. He is an artist. Very good artist.
I didn't pick up on it. Like, my wife goes, oh, he's gay. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, I just didn't hear him say boyfriends.
Yeah.
Like, I was listening to other things.
You didn't want to hear him say it, is what it is.
No, I mean, well, duh, he's got long hair. No, I didn't. I just didn't. Now it all makes sense.
How does it all make sense? Explain.
The stolen glances between him and Rick.
Mm.
The smoldering looks back and forth. Now it makes sense.
Every so often he kind of in slow motion,
He's in the back of the truck with Carl. Anytime there's a mission with one guy going someplace, he shows up. Come on.
Maybe you're on.
No, but no, I mean, you know what? And they kind of made a big deal out of it. Really, realistically, in this day and age, who cares? I mean, they already have the other girl who is,
Yeah. Right. Well, I mean, the thing is, and I don't know if they'll explore it in the TV show, but in the comic book, he actually had a relationship with two people.
Not any people that we know.
What? No. It would be two people at the hilltop.
Okay.
So he had a relationship kind of going on there, but it wasn't like... It was more like he kind of liked somebody, but he wasn't really expressing it, and the other guy kind of liked him. And then there was another guy who kind of... I think they kind of had something, but it really wasn't, or... That's why Jesus was gone all the time, because he just didn't know how to deal with it. And
Oh, that's the same old story.
yeah, of
Love
course,
story.
of course. So, and then eventually, when he decides, I'm here, then he picks one of the guys, and that's the guy he sticks with. So,
But what if when he said, yeah, boyfriends, who was it? Maggie just took out one of his hatchets and, or machete, whoosh, took off his head like it was a walker. He was changing. He was changing.
he was changing. I saw him.
He was changing. He was infected. He was changing.
And then it's funny how you get to see a little bit about how Negan. Remember when Negan said he had a second doctor?
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking that the second doctor was already living there, but he took it from the hilltop. He took the
Yeah,
doctor.
I didn't pick up on that. I was like, first thing I thought was like, oh no, Maggie's doctor.
Yeah. Now, I was picking up on this is what he wanted, and then when he was like, "Oh, I want to talk to you," I thought it was about Daryl, because they probably found out that Daryl was there, or were looking just to see if Daryl was there. And then the whole thing with Maggie and Daryl, where Daryl just wanted to jump on that guy and kill him.
Yeah, but there's a reason why he was like that.
Yeah, because he got abused, and he's just.
Well, yeah, but I kind of thought, yeah, I guess you're right. I kind of thought there was still a little bit of him being uncomfortable around Maggie, so he's like, I got to do something else other than talk to her.
Yeah, no.
So I might as well kill this fucking guy.
No, that's not really how it goes. I've never been in a situation where I felt awkward with somebody, and I'm like, I need to kill this other guy so that way she can.
I think he said, listen, we can either talk about this or I can kill this guy. Listen, I can't talk to you. Somebody kill this guy. That's how I thought it was going.
No. And then,
well, you're not from the zombie apocalypse, Mike.
yeah, well, you might be right, but for all you know, that guy could have, analyzed him at one point.
But no, he still was kind of like I didn't pick up like my wife right away like because he's all quiet because he's he was abused, and I was like I feel like there's something between, like it gave off a vibe to me that he's kind of avoiding her.
Well, I mean, I think there's a little bit of both. He's upset because he didn't want for Stephen Young or whatever his name is, Glenn's character, to die. He didn't want him to die, so he felt.
I still think that Daryl is like a badass that he doesn't get bothered by that shit.
Well, no, because they were friends, they were family.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean about the guys. No, not that part. I mean the part where the guys tortured him and all this. I kind of think he's so much of a badass that he's not too affected by that. He's just like screw him, like move on.
No,
let's get on to killing.
I think he was still. I mean, come on. Psychologically, they messed with him psychologically.
Oh yeah.
So he just.
But they never broke him though. They never got there.
Well, they were close. I think they were close. I think if it would have been like a couple more days, he probably would have broke.
I don't
maybe,
know.
Maybe he realized.
I don't think it was yet.
Yeah, but I think he realizes that, and that's why he was just like. That's why he's taking out his frustration on.
See, to me, I think Daryl would keep being the person that. There's an opportunity, he always takes it. Where, as we saw Eugene, he didn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, again, we're jumping a little bit ahead, but with Daryl, see the problem is.
And at the end, what happened was. Oh, sorry.
The problem is with Daryl is that everybody wants him to be this badass. Everybody really, in their heart, they feel Daryl's this badass. Nothing can faze him. Hey,
because that's how he acts, though. Dude.
Yeah, but I mean, how many times have you acted a certain way and you really felt another way?
Never.
So, that's the way he was acting, and this is their way of showing he's human. Even though, because he did break down and cry, and was just. Crying in front of Maggie, just saying, hey.
Well, yeah, I mean, in his head, he really thought, hey, I'm the one who got him killed. Mm-hmm. It was my stupidity that I lashed out like not thinking, and instead of taking it out on me, because they didn't know who they were dealing with yet.
No, they didn't.
I didn't understand that he does more damage by taking out on someone else than the person who acts out.
Well, when you get to that status of dictatorship, you'll understand.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
don't know.
once you take over Texas.
I mean, I like Negan, but I am looking forward to going to heaven
Yeah, see,
or someplace.
I don't see that happening.
Oh, come
I don't. And uh, Negan is the direct opposite of I was gonna say Carl of
on, Rick.
Rick.
You're direct opposite.
Hmm. He is exactly the opposite of Rick. So you got to remember that it's kind of like a yin and yang type thing. So it's something that Rick will need because it reminds him that that's not what he is. So that's
Well, when one of those ladies shoots him,
well. Getting back to them,
I think Eugene's gonna take him.
well, Eugene has the best opportunity to do it. But getting back to them, I mean, just that whole journey that they took.
Well, yeah, she's like, hey, let's, like most people would, let's make the best of this. Hey, let me ask you some questions so I better get to understand you better, know you better.
Right.
Just because we're nervous about we're both going to friggin' die, let's take our minds off it by me asking you something.
Right.
And Rosita was like, I'm not having it.
No, she was not. She's like, listen, you know, I didn't make him happy. You made him happy, and I'm pissed off about that.
But how long was he with Sasha? How long was it? That was
It,
it long?
it
It
wasn't
wasn't
long at
very
all.
long.
No, it wasn't long at all. And
So I just I'm confused by she's so tortured. Oh, I'm with the woman that he left, but it was like a quick thing.
yeah, but I mean, scorn is scorn, no matter what.
Yeah, but I guess.
The whole thing is that when they going back to the hilltop when the saviors came to to the town because we got a little bit veered from that, and I thought they were looking for Daryl, and then when they came and took the doctor,
Yeah,
I mean that was just like that's kind of like a punch in the gut to them. And then that guy, the whoever, I don't know what we want to call him, the governor or whatever we want to call him of Hilltop. He
his name is Gregory.
Gregory. Well,
Yeah.
Gregory,
The a-hole.
yeah, the a-hole. But Gregory, he knew that if they took him, that's it. His seat or his power
Yeah.
will be contested. He knew that was going to happen, and he was trying his best to make it, not happen. And it was, he tried. He tried. He was just like, come on, there's got to be something we can talk about. And eventually they just said, what's that guy's name? Simon. Simon's like, hey, I like you. You know, um, don't screw this up. And then he's just like, well, and he's trying to explain to him, hey, if you take the doctor, things are going to happen and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, if anything ever happens, you come talk to me.
Yeah, he's like thinking that there may be some dissension. Some they may rise up and try to dethrone me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I kind of already thought he was more like a figurehead than actually any kind of person of any kind of authority ever since Maggie got there, because she kind of showed him up 1, 2, 3.
Well, that's the point. He does not want Maggie to take over because he knows if Maggie keeps on in the path that she's in, she's going to take over.
Well, I kind of assumed it already happened. Like I kind of assumed like it was already the general feeling of everything. That she it's already like, well, we're going to listen to her. This jihole staying in the damn house the whole time.
Well, but that's the way it's starting to. He knows that that's the way it's going. That's why he's trying to fight as much as he can to keep his power, whatever little power he has. And
but towards the end, it kind of seems like it's shifting back a little.
well,
at least in his mind.
In his mind, yeah.
Because he's got an ace up his sleeve now. He's like, well, shit, I'm not as worried.
Right.
Because all I got to do is just, say something to people, and my cards are back in my hand.
And for all you know, he's going to go over there, and they're just going to, kill him anyway. And then have the next person, get in line.
I don't know. I think they might reward him to an extent because he's ratting the situation out. I don't know. I don't know if it's immediate execution because he's not so much because they can see that he's not a strong. He has a strong hand. Mm-hmm. I would think, but I don't know.
Well, if you remember,
it's hard to read.
Negan does not reward snitches. I mean, his deal is snitches get stitches, and he definitely does not like that weak character. And he sees it in that guy anyway. I mean, come on, Rick is the type of person that goes out and he's doing whatever he has to do to keep the place alive, and you got this guy who's just sitting there, snitching on him. That's why you had to.
Yeah, but he has his people do what he has to do. He doesn't do it. He has other capable people there.
Right, but you don't know what he did to get to that point. You know what I mean? So it's just it's just a test of character, and obviously his character's not all there.
I think Simon kind of digs this guy because he knows he can work. He can he takes whatever he gets and without any problems.
Well, if you remember, at one point Simon was going to take him out.
Yeah, but then he kind of. It's just a matter of he just changes the picture. Now, they had on the Talking Dead they had Simon on there, and the actor believes he goes, no, I don't think he's evil. I think he's more doing his job like he's supposed to. Mm. So he himself said, I don't think Simon is inherently evil. He's more just like, hey, this is the world we live in, and these are the rules. And I got to this position because I can follow Negan's rules, and Negan doesn't have to check on them.
Well, you know what the problem is that when you're looking at a world that's so much different than ours, yeah, rules are going to be different. Things are going to be different. I mean, who knows? I mean, if I was put in that situation, would I do the same thing? Probably. I don't know. You just don't know. Given the situation that you're in and what could come out of it, you just don't know, given the situation. But I think, when you're watching it, you just want to believe they're evil. You just don't want to think of them as normal people.
I just thought of this, and I don't know, did we discuss, I think it was 2 episodes ago when who's the preacher dude?
You're talking about, oh my God.
What I'm talking about.
Gabriel.
And he was kind of, did we discuss him the last?
We discussed a little bit about him,
because he's really kind of like, before when he was lost and nobody you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. He's now kind of, that episode, he kind of had some advice for Rosie that was actually good advice. And she was kind of pissed off, but she walked out of her, with a look on her face well, fuck, he's right.
Remind me what the advice was.
Because she was something you don't know what you're talking about. He goes, I'm a fool. I don't know. I think he was saying, she's like, I should have died. And he's like, no, I think he said it's better that you live for another day. I mean, he was kind of saying her sacrificing herself at that time would have been foolish because then when we need her, she's going to be there to play that pivotal role. Mm. That was the reason why it wouldn't have been a good idea for her to kill herself at that point. Mm. He's like, the reason you're still here is because there is a reason for that. Mm-hmm. And even though you may not be able to see it, there probably is a reason for that. And that might have actually kind of got her thinking, I am going to go through this. Because maybe that's my role. Mm-hmm. And he was kind of saying, hey, you don't have to listen to a fool, but this is, and then I think at the end he's like, this is just what one full thing. He kind of didn't like come off as like, hey, I'm speaking the word of the Lord, or I'm a preacher, you should listen to me. He kind of just saying, hey, I'm just, this is just my opinion.
Right.
And it was kind of like, wow, he's actually in the past when he was trying to be like not himself and like trying to maintain his role as a leader in a religious sense, and he was scared shitless. He didn't have he didn't have the faith,
Right.
and now he's just like kind of more calm in his delivery of, hey, this is realistically this is how it is, peppered in with some wisdom and faith in there, but more wisdom as to what the current situation is,
Right.
as to believe in us, believe in our situation, believe in Rick, believe in all stuff. Because he did talk to Sasha, and it kind of seemed like it gave Sasha some, not Sasha, Rosita some, I think kind of like, hey, this is what we're going to do. Kind of like help her make her mind up. Let go of the whole thing of, oh, I should have freaking it should have been me.
Right. Yeah, so. I mean, he did have some good advice, because he didn't try to sprinkle it with morals on top of it. Like, he didn't.
Yeah, and that's what I thought. He's changed now after this whole situation. He's now kind of like what he should be and what he should have been. It's more like he's growing into that role with the new set of rules.
Right.
Which was, I was like, oh, this is he actually is fulfilling the role that he should be filling. And that's as some kind of leader of faith and some wisdom and stuff.
Right. Now, getting back to what we were talking about, now we're getting back to the two girls are going down the path of, they're going to go take out Negan themselves. And, of course, Rosita had a unique way of thinking about it, where Sasha wanted to take a more sensible way of doing it.
Yeah.
Where Rosita just wanted to go in, guns a-blazing, and, we'll take out as many as we can until we die. That's pretty much her way of thinking.
Hopefully we'll get Negan in somewhere.
Right. Where Sasha was just like, okay, well, I know that there's a tower that's close to the gate, so whenever Negan shows up, we can shoot him. So that's what...
That seems smart to me.
Yeah, I mean, that seemed like a good plan to me, too. As well as, I think she took her time when they finally got there. Once she got to talk to, them, and they both hashed it out, and they finally, understand each other, where Rosita's like, you know what, it's not you, it was me, and I knew it was me for a while, and I just didn't want to see it. And then
what was me? What was her relationship?
Yeah, her relationship with Abraham, because she knew that he wasn't happy, and she knew that he was like that for a while, and she just couldn't accept it in her heart. And then when he left, it just hit her even harder, because she just realized, it was her the whole time. And she was explaining to Sasha how she was the one leaving all the guys, and this is the first guy that left her.
That's right.
Yeah, so that's why it hit her so hard. And then when they were explaining to everything, and she's telling her, I forgive you, I know it wasn't you, and she's just like, why don't you go check, to see what's going on at the fence. I'm thinking, yeah, she's going to take a bayonet to the back of the head. Yeah, that's what I was thinking at that point. I'm like, man, she's got her at a false low, and then she's just going to, she...
It seemed genuine. I didn't think that. It seemed kind of genuine, her situation. Because she's... on The Talking Dead, they referred to her akin to Sarah Connor, where she met people, learned what she could, and then moved on to the next guy, solely to
better herself.
What value she could learn from her, and then move on to the next guy.
Right. Well, it is funny, because I'm thinking, because remember, in this universe of The Walking Dead, nothing is normal. And we've seen people do something genuine before and still kill somebody else.
Yeah.
So it's not anything new.
Well, that's to remind you this isn't normal.
Right.
The world is not normal.
Yeah. And,
Never forget.
and again, even though Sasha is an important character in this whole universe that they've created for the TV show, she isn't in the comic book. So if we lost her at that point because Rosita was mad, I mean, we could have accepted it, but they could,
She's not in the comic book?
no.
Mike, this isn't the comic book. How many times have we discussed
And I understand that, and that's what I said. She's still important to the TV show.
I've got to erase your memory with the comic.
Um,
No, don't do that.
and then, and then when I think Sasha just took her sweet time taking that shot, because I think she could have took Negan out a couple of times.
I think she was like didn't want to screw it up. I think she was kind of like, I got to get this right. We're gonna get this right, and maybe I don't know if Eugene threw her off or what or what was going on. I don't know. I think just everything kind of threw her up because maybe she wasn't ready to commit to it, so she was easily distracted by other shit.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, just seeing Eugene there kind of threw them both off.
hey, when I'm playing video games and here comes the boss, I'm like, what button I gotta press again? Same kind of thing. Gotta make sure everything's perfect.
Yeah, exactly. And then the when they didn't take the shot, and then they were planning on going in the compound. I mean, that whole thing threw me off too, where she's just like, she tells Rosita, check our back, make sure that nobody's coming, and Rosita turns around and she just locks her out. I was just like, man, that's messed up. Because you didn't think Sasha was going to do that, because you thought she was the more sensible one.
Yeah, but like at the end, well, we're at the end now, so we can discuss it. So
Right.
her locking her out, I think that she thought, hey, Rosita is a more valuable person because she has all these freaking skills.
Mm.
Not that Sasha doesn't, but Rosita is a walking, armory by herself. She knows all this shit.
Right.
Where Sasha, I mean, she does have skills, but I think she's like, you know what? Somebody's got to die. Why not better me than them losing a resource like her?
Right.
That's how I thought of it, and I didn't think it was the whole like, oh, I loved him more or that kind of bullshit. I thought it was more like, you're more of a important resource for the team than I am.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I mean, and not to mention, I was totally thrown off by Eugene, but kind of expected it from Eugene.
Like you thought he would jump ship?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't too surprised by that because I think he still has something up his sleeve. I don't think he's like, oh, I'm part of the, I'm Negan now, so I can't leave here. I think he's like, I still, his better place is there, because he may have an end game, a longer end game, something. I mean, even if it's just like, well, I better stay safe until I know what the frick's going on. But I think he has something planned somewhere.
I think you might be giving him a little bit too much because, again, we discussed Eugene's character, and it's whatever he needs to do to stay alive. And he figures if he jumps ship, what's going to happen to him? He's not going to have that comfortable lifestyle. Negan's going to be chasing him down. He's got to fight walkers all the time. He doesn't have, the video games anymore. He won't have that great song that they were playing for him. So, you know what I mean?
I still don't feel that that's like his main thing that he wants. I think he's just looking at the situation. Hey, this is my best use of the situation at this point. Mm-hmm. But hey, that's where we're different.
Yeah, I think you're giving him too much, but that's fine.
I mean, and I guess if that is the way it is, I don't know that I would be shocked, but I guess maybe disappointed because I'm thinking, hey, he does have something up his sleeve.
Yeah, I mean,
because he is smart.
His character, they set it up so that way you could believe he could do that. I mean, his morals are, he, tricked Abraham into protecting him. He had a group of people protecting him because they thought
He couldn't do it.
yeah, because they thought that he was something special, and then you come to find out he really isn't. And you know what I mean? So, I mean, if he could do that without even thinking twice about it,
Yeah, maybe.
I can't see how he couldn't hold up in Negan's, court and be, not okay with it. But yeah,
Yeah, maybe.
yeah. I mean, and for all you know, I mean, they might turn it around and he, might do something to sabotage the whole compound or something. You never know. But yeah, I mean, I just with 2 more episodes left, I think, right? With 2 more episodes left.
Yeah, there should be 2 more episodes.
Yeah, 2 more episodes left. It's coming down to where it's going to be left at a cliffhanger, and something's going to happen. Whether it's, a moral dilemma with Sasha, they get Eugene back, or you know what I mean, or it could be, where they're ready to pounce on Negan's, compound. But it's getting to that point where I think, they're going to leave us with a cliffhanger. That's pretty much what it comes down to.
Yeah, maybe.
Because, they love doing that. And it's not the first time that they've done that, and it's just going to leave us high and dry.
I don't know. I think something's going to happen where at least he's on the run. I don't think it's going to be like, we're ready to take him on. I don't know. Maybe, unless they're ready to kick the door in at that moment. And then the next season opener, it's like, boom, right into the action.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that they, I mean, just going by just what the episodes say, I mean, something they need, and then the first day of the rest of your life. I mean, it's just so, it's so up in the air with those, episodes that you just don't know what to expect. I mean, it sounds like, I mean, the first day of the rest of your life, you're kind of thinking that they're going to have the war and it's going to be done. But I don't think it's going to be done in one episode. I think it's going to take. I think it's going to take a couple episodes for them to take down.
But I don't think it's going to be. I mean, if they do that, there's no way it's going to be a whole second season.
No. Not the whole season. Not the whole season, but I think it's.
I don't think it could be more than 2. Well, I don't know. It couldn't be even half. I would think it would be maybe 2 or 3 at the most.
I would say 3 episodes the most. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's where they're going to leave it at. It's going to be like 3 episodes, and then, it's done. But it's getting down to the point where, Negan is going to be done, and they just have to move it on because of they have to move the storyline along, and Jeffrey Dean Morgan needs to go back to his farm and take care of all the alpacas that he's got.
He used to be the dad on Supernatural.
I didn't watch Supernatural that much, so I couldn't tell you. I do know that he's been doing a lot of appearances on daytime television now. They have him all over the place, so they might be just setting it up where they want him to be seen because the popularity is now at its apex, and they just want to milk him for everything they can. But hey, I mean, I started watching Iron Fist.
Yeah.
What'd you think of that?
I like it.
Do you?
It was a little slow the first episode, but they got to get a lot going on. See, in my mind, I'm thinking Iron Fist as the Marvel Comics Iron Fist, where he's the martial arts badass for most situations. He is the best martial arts combat. Where this kid is like, hey, this is his first time away from the monastery, so this is really like his first time out. So he has a lot to learn as far as putting his stuff in practice.
Well, it's almost like in the Ultimate Universe. Um, if you watch the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon version of him, he is when he first ends up on their squad. He was just fresh out of the monastery as well, and
You can't compare that because that's like a silly.
well, no, but I mean his parents were back at the monastery, so he was supposed to be some kind of prince or something. So, I mean, I don't know the original storyline for the comic.
No, I mean in the show, that's his thing. His father was in search of something out there, so he brought his wife and his son out to the Himalayas, and there was a car wreck. I mean, excuse me, a plane crash.
Okay.
The mom didn't get sucked out of the plane like in the thing. They landed and they were kind of all together, but there's like wolves chasing them. And the mom pretty much got ate by, like she kind of let go, and she kind of stopped them, and the wolves. And I think the father, I think it was just the boy and the mom because the father was missing, and so the mom like sacrificed herself so the boy could live, and she got attacked by the wolves, and then I think the father found them, and then they traveled a little ways, and they just outside the monastery, like the father, I don't know if he perished or something like that, and they found him. So that's the kind of thing. Like he was a white, like a non-Shaolin whatever monk person, and then first we're like he can't do any of this, and then he just started to show a lot of talent in the things that they're training, and they're like, wow, he's good enough to compete and to to train. And there's a lot of people that weren't believing in it, but of course the people that make all the decisions, the opponent people, they're like, oh no, he shall, he shall be able to.
Right, yeah. And the one thing that really confuses me is that he's getting these visions.
Yeah.
And that really confuses me. It's like, like at one point he's trying to meditate and then he sees the visions of the plane crash.
Yeah.
Now, is that and again, I don't know the storyline behind him in the original comic book, but is that what holds his power back? And then eventually he is able to break free of that because he is able to accept it. I mean, he could be more powerful than he is now.
No, there isn't no real anything that's blocking. It's just him training.
Okay.
So in the show, they're trying to give him this kind of thing like that.
Yeah, and and then it's kind of nice that they're crossing over people, because they have, and I don't know how far you got, but they have what's her name from the Matrix.
Oh, the lady, yeah, she's from Jessica Jones.
Yeah, from Jessica Jones. She was on Daredevil a little bit. It was just like, I think she made like a quick little cameo, and that was it. But it's kind of nice that they're crossing over some of the people. Carrie-Anne Moss.
Yeah.
And it's kind of nice that they're doing that they're crossing over people, so that way you can see that they are, using those characters the way they should. Because it's the same universe. That's what they're trying to.
Yeah, and that's what they have to do. And then they also had later on they have the nurse chick.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah. Claire.
Yeah, and it's a little. I don't know if I like the insertion of her because in this one, she's there training at the dojo where that Asian girl owns, and they're kind of buddies already, kind of thing. But I guess how else are you gonna get her in? And then some stuff goes on, and she helps out. But what I don't like is in the Marvel universe. I mean, Iron Fist always knows what to do. Like he's always ready, prepared, and can kick ass. In this one, he's always well. He's he's confident, but you don't really see a lot of it in motion. Like there's too much drama holding him back, I think, in his abilities.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, he's been away for what, 15 years?
15 years.
All right. So as a 25-year-old, you know, the first thing he wants to do when he gets to New York is go to Times Square, you know, go drinking, 42nd Street. You know, I mean, he wants to hit all the sights, and meanwhile, he you know, he just doesn't know what to do. He's got all these hormones racing. You know, he meets up with this, you know, Colleen, who's a, you know, hot little Asian chick. He doesn't know what to do. You know, it's just a lot of hormones.
They said that she's from. I read that she's from Game of Thrones. Do you remember her from Game of Thrones?
I don't, but there were so many people in Game of Thrones.
But I wonder if it's the. Remember when the that one lady who sent those chicks after. When she had those 3 daughters, and they're all like one's more pissed off than the other. I wonder if it's one of those.
I know what you're talking about. Yes.
I wonder if it's one of those because they were like all fighters and everything.
Yeah, you might be right. It might have been. I guess her name was Nymeria Sand.
In what?
In Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't. So you'd have to see if there's other sand people there.
Yeah, she's the one with the whip. Okay.
Oh, she was one of them.
Yeah, she was. Yep.
Okay, that makes less sense.
Yeah. It does now.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because I remember there was 3 girls, and I'm like, that's the only real, those are the only ones that really kind of stand out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense. She knows martial arts and stuff. And stuff.
But she was and she is a Marvel, I think she is a actual character in the Marvel universe, but the character is white.
Well,
but she's a samurai.
She calls herself Daughter of the Dragon.
In the box, in the tournament.
Yeah, which I thought was kind of cool, because she's desperate for money, so she has to go to those places to make money. Even though Danny is supposed to take care of her.
But she's like, I gotta look out for myself.
Yeah.
I'm not relying on no man.
You know, but I kind of know the character only from like the Marvel universe, you know, the Ultimate universe, where he's kind of like this, like when he talks, it's always very mellow, and everything has to do with some kind of proverb. So it was always
Danny?
Yeah, because it was always like, you know, whenever they were faced with something, he would always say, like, you know, like he would always tell Spider-Man, like, you know, you shouldn't rush in. You should always, you know, assess the situation before. And Spider-Man's like, yeah, can't talk, already fighting. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and see, that's what you're basing is on. That cartoon was like a silly representation of it, because he's not. From what I remember from him, he wasn't like always telling people, "Hey, do this." He would kind of just have some martial arts technique that he has in his repertoire that he's either studied or made, and he'd be able to defeat him. Mm-hmm. He actually, which was really cool, is when Daredevil had some issues where people were like, "You're Matt, what the hell is it?
Matt Murdock.
Matt Murdock, you're Daredevil." "No, I'm not." "You're Daredevil. We know you're Daredevil." So he had somebody showed up as Daredevil doing stuff when he was on the other end of town. Like, oh, wait a minute, the 2 of them are not together. And in the comic, you didn't know who it was. You're like, wait a minute, who? He's doing all the. He's able to easily defeat the guys with martial arts skill and flipping around and showing, like, hey, who is it? And all of a sudden, a couple of issues later, they show him with his hand glowing. You're like, oh, it's Iron Fist, perfect, because it's. I mean, Daredevil has martial, and agility, and that's a perfect, person that also has that.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, and so, he kind of faded out for a little while, and then they kind of brought him back in the Marvel Universe. He was important when the Second Coming of the Phoenix was coming, like he was supposed to be one of the people that could actually stand up against the Phoenix Force. And then they found out, oh no, it's supposed to be the new mutant Faith that's actually supposed to be the one, and then he was training them and stuff like that. But he got in contact with one of the spirits or something.
You know, it was funny because I was talking to my wife, and I'm like, the dad, Harold Meacham, he's involved with the with the hand, and instead I said the foot.
So you always involved with the foot.
And she's just like, what the hell? What are you talking about the foot? And I'm like, that's from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Sorry. She's like, how can you confuse the two? And I'm like, because it's a,
secret ninja organization.
Yeah, the hand, the foot, it's the same.
It's all part of the body.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where they probably took it from. But, I haven't seen I think I'm on episode 5, so I haven't seen the whole thing yet. How many have you
I
got?
think we're just about there. I think we're just about where she's going to do the second fight. Where she?
Oh, okay. So I'm beyond that because now she's like, we got to go take on the hand, and she's like, I can't do it. You shouldn't do this alone, and he's like, she's not alone. And he goes on this. He goes to the to do this challenge. Well, he has 3 different challengers he's got to face. Did you see that one yet?
No.
He goes on the. Okay. So that one's kind of like. To me, there isn't enough of him really showcasing what he can do. But I guess I'm being a little harsh. Like I'm like, I want him to be at that expert level when he's just he's kind of fresh.
Now,
as all the characters.
Let me just say something, because let's just slow down the whole thing, and let's just explain how it's almost like watching. Oh my God! Now I'm going to go blank. I just had it in my mind. Kung Fu. Remember Kung Fu, the series?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit.
It's almost like watching that, where David Carradine did every move very slow, and Iron Fist kind of does the same thing.
Well, no, they did the.
It might be later. It might be later, but what I'm saying is, right now, everything he does is just exaggeratedly slow. And like I was telling my wife, I'm like, this is like, you're so used to watching somebody like the guy who plays an Arrow. I forget the guy's name. Where he
Stephen.
Yeah, Stephen Amos. Where he moves quickly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you see him move quickly for a normal human. And Iron Fist is supposed to be a little bit more beyond that. But everything he does is almost like a Tai Chi.
You mean like when he's training or when he's actually fighting?
No, when he's actually fighting.
So they just slow it down so you can see the moves.
No. He just kind of fights slow. And then you could see, like, the action is a little bit exaggerated. Like, you could tell the guy's going to throw the punch, and it just takes him forever to throw the punch. And then, Danny's able to block it. And I'm like, maybe they could have choreographed it a little bit better. That's what I feel like, from watching so many...
And maybe that's it. Maybe they're taking a different approach to it. Instead of it, they want it to build up the drama a little more than the actual fighting.
Yeah, I don't know. The fight scenes are not impressing me
when
so
the
much.
chick tries to take him on, she's like, well, and she goes right after him. He immediately just flips her every time he defeats her.
Yeah.
I mean, there's certain things I think are kind of cool. Like when he uses his power, they chime in that little music.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
And then when the girl goes to fight, and he told her about the monkey claw or something.
Yeah.
She remembers that, and you hear the music chiming in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought her hand was going to glow. I'm like, come on.
No, I didn't think her hand was good. I just thought, she's learning by his
example. Yeah. I mean that was she took on that big guy, and
yeah, she was like furious.
She was pissed. That's because he was a big dude.
Oh, so you haven't seen the second fight where she takes?
No, not yet. But it was just like she was pissed. She was just like, but she moved a lot quicker than he does.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking like what you're saying before, the dad. I think he's going to be something with this.
What?
Meaning
Harold Meacham?
I think he's going to be somebody.
Yeah,
because he already is a little weird. I mean, he already is a.
Well,
he has a weird circumstance.
he already
I mean,
said
he'll
he
turn it
died.
around a little bit more, yeah.
He died,
Yeah.
and then he came back to life.
But he's drinking all these like health foods and making sure he's training. So
Yeah.
is he doing that because he's like, I'm gonna die, or he has to do that? They haven't really gone into that too much yet.
Well, I think if you're stuck in an apartment and you can't do anything,
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna have to exercise or do something, or else you'll be, like just a blob after a while.
Yeah, I guess because he can't. He's not allowed to.
Right. So he's just exercising so that way he has, because he seems like a person that's very vain.
Yeah.
So I think he would take the actions to make sure that his appearance is always up to par.
I mean, did you see that when Danny met him, or did you get to that part yet?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's like, oh, he's like really showing all this affection towards him, and whereas his son is very
Ward is.
He's alienating his son even more.
Yeah, Ward is just all pissed off. He's just like, yeah, whatever.
And I don't think that Ward is like he's more of an asshole or a jerk than more of like an evil guy. Like in the beginning, you're like, oh, he's gonna be the bad guy of the show.
Right. Yeah.
But he's more just like the. Like an asshole, or just like a jerk.
He's just
the
bully. He's just the school bully who doesn't take it too far, but he takes it far enough. And
he's still a thorn in his side, enough to be annoying.
Right.
But not enough that because he kind of in the show in certain parts he kind of goes along with him a little bit. Like, okay, show me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he was.
But I really thought he was going to be a main villain or something. Because there's a guy, and he mentions a guy at one point called Devos, who's a villain called the Steel Serpent. In the Marvel universe, he's like he covets the Iron Fist. So there's times when he tries to take it from him.
Yeah.
And he does. He steals it from him from time to time. Iron Fist always gets it back.
It's funny because when we were watching it, and the first time that Harold leaves the apartment and then comes back and they said, where were you? And then you see the hand, and I'm like, oh, okay, he's in with the hand. And my wife's like, oh, that sounds like something from Elektra.
It is.
And I said, it is. It's that whole thing from there. And she's like, oh. And I said, remember, it's Marvel, so all that's gonna kind of mix together. Like even Wolverine has fought the hand, and there's I think Captain America fought the hand at one point.
Yeah, they're like the primary ninja group in the Marvel universe. Because they're mystic because you can kill them and they're not real.
Right.
They just evaporate into mist, so they're not really real. So when he said, "Oh yeah, they brought me back from," I'm like, "Oh, that's classic." Right there, and I think they kind of embraced a little bit more than in Daredevil.
Right. Yeah. Daredevil, they didn't really get into it too much.
I'm liking the series. At first, I wasn't so sure about the kid because he reminds me of Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
Justin Timberlake. But
it's Iron Timberlake.
It's all right.
It's Iron.
Yeah, Iron Timberlake. He's okay. I mean, it's a different take. I mean, I think he'll fold in or fit into that universe they're creating with Daredevil.
Yeah.
Jessica Jones.
I think the curly hair kind of ticks me off.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Yeah.
But that's what it is.
And then
well, I mean, Luke Cage is bald, so they have to give the exact opposite.
Yeah.
Because they're buddies.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see that happening.
Well, it might
see...
maybe later on. Yeah. Maybe Luke Cage will show up and make a quick little cameo and then disappear.
So there's a new running of Iron Man and Iron Fist. They're like, hey, we just have to settle some things. We just have to talk to some people that back in our days when we were together, a team. There's somebody that we have to kind of talk with that's just getting out of prison or something that they weren't involved with, so they're kind of tying up loose ends.
Right.
And Iron Fist is like, yeah, we're back together. It's like, we're not. Luke Cage is like, we're not back together. Yeah, we're gonna do that. No, we're not. And then Jessica, his wife, calls up. Are you guys? So you guys are back? No, we're not. Yeah, we're back. No, we're not. We're just trying to fix this.
Yeah, just no.
And so it's like the whole time is like, oh, I'll get this, I'll get that. No, we're not, but reluctantly they have to.
Yeah. Well, you know how it is.
So Danny Rand is the kind of commercial, comical, and Luke Cage is more like, ah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it's he he is kind of like that now, but then again, he didn't have a childhood. I mean, you see him when the monks are beating on his
Yeah,
back.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So he really didn't get to enjoy a childhood like
yeah.
we would have. You know, so he's obviously gonna be a little bit on the
There's more beatings involved in the movie.
yes, yes,
Like about three more beatings.
at least. Yes.
I got when I was younger, my mother used to sternly tell me not to do this. Suggested I not do that. You better not do that.
Yeah.
But I did. Well, you better not do it again.
Yeah. No, we got the old flip flop.
I did
Yeah,
that.
because the flip flop was the epitome of the Hispanic weaponry for a mother. So they were able to take that off, hit you, put it back on, and able to make dinner right afterwards with no problem.
Oh,
Yes, it is a very powerful tool in a Hispanic woman's repertoire.
listen, my mother had 5 kids before. She was worn out.
She was defeated by the time she got to
She
you.
was, she was like, she was just nagging and I can't physically harm you, but I can fill your head with doubt that will last for the rest of your life.
She
Negativity and doubt that will last for the rest of your
she
life.
did the
I was like, oh,
psychological
okay.
warfare on you.
She did it, and it worked. Well, it didn't work.
It worked.
It worked.
It worked. Because every time you go
You're
to do
going out at night?
every time you go to do something bad, you hear Paul
You're going out at night? In the
in
rain?
the rain. Oh my god.
That's why the cars have headlights and there's wiper blades. Every car's equipped.
Well, back in my day,
No, she never used to hit me.
no.
She would just be like, all right, but blah, 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 blah. All right, but what if blah, 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 blah happens?
Mm-hmm. And don't you?
So my wife's like, why are you always so negative? Why are you always looking negative? I'm like, well, I'm starting to realize that this was instilled in me from as a young child to doubt and worry about it.
Exactly. That's the typical. You know, the last child mother. Always. It's always she can't beat you anymore because she's just tired. So she might as well just wear you down psychologically. And it works. It works.
Oh, it worked.
Oh, it worked. All right. So, I guess at this point, unless you have anything else to add, we'll just call it a day. And, we just have to look forward to the next couple of episodes of Walking Dead and see what happens.
Yeah.
And hopefully, Fear the Walking Dead can carry us the rest of the way.
When's that coming? When did they say that's coming?
You know what? I forgot. Because...
Coming out soon, though, right?
yeah, it should be. Hold on. It's season 3, right?
Yeah.
So the release date for season 3 is August. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I'm reading this wrong. Season 2 premiered in... Oh, they don't even have a premiere date, but they're saying it could be in April because the original series came out in August. Then when the second season came out, it was in April 10th. So they're thinking maybe this year it'll be maybe April. But, if they're keeping up with the summer schedule, it could be either May or June. And then we have to wait until October for The Walking Dead to come back.
Well, what is it, November?
No, October.
Yeah, that's usually what it's
Yeah. So, it is what it is. But I look forward to a walkerless summer. Well, I mean, if we have Fear the Walking Dead, we should be okay.
Who knows if they're going to put something else on?
Yeah, who knows?
What about the Into the Badlands? Did you watch any of that?
You know, I have not yet. But
I tried to watch it. It was kind of a cool concept, and there's some cool ideas, but it's just kind of lacking something. It's kind of like post-apocalyptic with ninjas, with post-apocalyptic with ninjas, but like they're on plantations.
Yeah.
So it's like that kind of idea.
I saw the first episode, so it's kind of like slave owners, where they owned plantations, and then people are protected on those plantations. That's what it's kind of is.
The plantations, what they grow is that's like almost the main form of currency in this world now.
Right.
So by having these big plantations where they grow whatever, that's where all their money comes. That's why they're rich, because they have all this food or whatever it is.
Right. So, I guess we'll see. We'll see. It's on my
To watch list.
Yeah, to watch list on what the hell, on
Netflix.
Netflix. Yeah, that's it. Sorry, because it's on Netflix. Into the Badlands. So.
Oh wait, you know what? I should discuss this. I don't know if you know. There's a FX series called Legion. That's based on a Marvel. I thought it was Charles Xavier's son, but it must be somebody else. And I watched the first episode, and it was totally like wacky because it was filmed in a perspective that the guy's nuts, and just the way they filmed it, it kind of like it's a weird hodgepodge of that. But at first I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like this, but at the end of it, I was like, you know what, I want to watch this. So it was pretty decent because they don't really. They do mention like he might be the most powerful mutant. And there's a guy showing up with a big fat face and yellow eyes, and I believe it's supposed to be, the X-Men villain, the guy that was in the other dimension that ran the TV shows.
Right. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
What was that guy's name?
I want to say, what was his? Didn't it start with a D or something?
Yeah. It was something weird because he's like a TV show. He would always put the X-Men in some TV show, and Long Shot was part of like his. Yeah, I know. I think it's supposed to be him that he keeps it because every once in a while he just sees this guy, and that's what kind of got him sent into this mental institution, was the demon with the yellow eyes. But it was pretty good. It was pretty decent. It doesn't really follow any of the rules of any of the other Marvel shows. So it was kind of like a new take, almost to the point where they don't mention anybody else. They just mention the word mutant. So it's almost like a standalone thing.
I think the Legion that you're talking about, which is Charles Xavier's son, I think that's who it is. It's
but they don't really make any mention of his father or him being, like his last name being Xavier or any of that stuff. So I think it's more like they're taking that character. And who knows if that wasn't, an alternate reality Charles Xavier's son. But that's who it's supposed to be.
Yeah, because if you remember, the Age of Apocalypse came about because Legion went back and killed Charles Xavier. Because he didn't want to be born. So he figured, if I kill Charles Xavier, then that'll, solidify the whole thing where I won't be born, and then, none of this that's happened to me will ever happen.
Yeah. In the show, he's like, at the end of it, he's like, is this real? Like, he asks the girl, is this real? Are you real? And she's like, yeah. But there's some mutants and stuff going on at the very end of the first episode. There's some stuff going on. So I think I'll watch more of it. But there's so many other shows I'm watching. But it's definitely, it was pretty decent. It's worth checking out. It's on FX, I believe.
Yeah, it is on FX. Yep. Yeah.
But it was filmed kind of like a weird, like from a crazy person's perspective.
Well,
but at first they're like, no, you're very sick, and then he's like trying to tell him, and then these guys come into the room and he steps towards them and they back away. And he's like, wait a minute, you're afraid of me. So he's like, oh, wait a minute, I do, like, all these visions of me having these powers, I do, like, he kind of, like, it solidifies, like, hey, wait, I do have this stuff. And he, like, he uses his powers and explodes. Everything blows up and flies away and all kinds of shit going on. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, he had a shattered. His mind is shattered because he's got all the abilities of Charles Xavier, but like amplified so much that it just drove him crazy.
Yeah, and that's kind of what they show some stuff where he just in the beginning he as a kid I guess he was like a bad kid because he was doing everything to get into trouble, probably to get his mind off of some shit. And then as he got older, he would break down once in a while. And he was living with this chick, and weird shit would happen, and she's just like, I've had it. And so after that, he's just like loses it, and he starts thinking, hey, I'm crazy. This isn't right. There's something wrong with me.
Yeah.
So he tries to kill himself, and they find him. They put him in this. And he's been in this the institution for years, like firmly believing, like, hey, I'm crazy. Even though weird stuff happens, he's like, yeah, there is some stuff going. Like almost like he accepts that stuff is happening, but it's his mind playing tricks on him that how he perceives of what's going on.
Right.
Like he has a nightmare, and his whole bed lifts up, and everything in the room lifts up, and then comes crashing down. And he wakes up, and he's like, "Oh no! I just had a bad dream." And they're coming in, and they immediately put him back to sleep with like a needle. So he kind of knew that he did it, but he's probably thinking like maybe he lashed out, and maybe he did it himself or something.
Right.
So yeah, it's worth watching. I'm going to dive into it after I get done with Iron Fist.
Yeah, I just can't wait until Iron Ghost comes out.
Iron Ghost? What's that?
That's the Black Legion, Earth 295. It's like a alternate universe where Ghost Rider has the Iron Man suit.
No, they're not doing it. I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, with Demon Ock and Grim Chamber. Remember Chamber who had the
His face.
Yeah.
He's still in. I think he repaired his face.
Did he?
When the mutants lost their powers, I think it got healed or something. Like it never happened. But then when he got his powers back, he's able to do something. Or maybe they did reconstructive surgery. Something like where he was normal again or something.
Yeah, I don't know. It's there's so much. It's hard to keep up with sometimes, and then there's other times where you're just like, yeah, I can't believe that even happened.
Well, I wasn't gonna watch that whole Legion thing. I was like, I mean, it's a cool idea, and I'm like, it intrigued me, but I'm like, I'm watching too many other shows. But so one day I was just like, I don't really have anything else. Like none of the shows that I'm waiting for are ready yet, so I might as well watch that. And it was like, it was alright. And plus, I was hungover from St. Patrick's Day, so I had to watch.
You had to watch something.
I wasn't getting.
It happens.
I wasn't getting it.
You weren't getting the recognition that you needed at the point.
No, I wasn't. No, at the day after St. Patrick's Day, I was tired. From all the Irish. All right.
So, at this point, we will say our goodbyes. Thanks for listening to us ramble on and then drone on at the end.
Yes, drone and ramble.
Yes, drone and ramble. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike LeBoy. He is
Paul Moon.
And we will say our good night. Good night.
And good luck.
Nothing ominous about that.
Good luck. Good luck. As soon as you click play, you get a virus. I mean, what? Oh, wait, was I supposed to be recording this whole time? Oh, wait a minute. I thought you were doing it. I'm sorry.